Hello, higher chemistry pupils, and welcome to week 2 of your learning online in chemistry. I just want to go over briefly the learning that you're going to do today, which is Monday if you're 5B and Wednesday if you're 5E. Lesson 5 will be a review of prior learning, so things that you completed last week and some revision of things that we did earlier in this topic. So the first part is going to be some vocabulary revision. You're going to use a study set in Quizlet to study recently learned terms and their definitions. So a good way to do this would be to spend about 5 to 10 minutes going through the flashcards. You can use test or learn to practice the matching the words and the definitions, and then there's a couple of games that you can play for the last section, match and gravity. And what you want to do here is become increasingly fluent with using these terms. It's really important that you can correctly use new vocabulary when you're writing answers. So this is kind of a good way to get into the practice of that. The second activity you're going to do is some multiple choice practice. You're going to tackle 10 questions from the 2019 past paper, and you're just going to simply write down your answers. Part C is a little bit of practice of note making. So we've already covered these sections, aldehydes and ketones, esters and soaps, and your task is to make notes from your understanding and memory of those topics. You may wish to make mind maps, you may wish to kind of get a larger sheet of paper like A3, which you can do just by taping 2 sheets of A4 together and putting those 3 headings and just kind of brainstorming what you know under those headings. Some tips of things to include would be that you show that you understand their structures, show that you understand how they're named, what the functional groups are, what kind of reactions they participate in, any interesting features, and make sure you include labeled diagrams and definitions. It's ideal if you can do this without looking at your jotter, because that really tests what you've actually understood and remembered. But then what you should do after that is, if you have time, you can look back through your notes or your booklet and then see, well, what things did I miss out? What things did I misunderstand? So you thought it was something, but it was something different. Or that you remembered it incorrectly, like a genuine mistake. Those are all things that's important to know about so that you can change that for next time. Lesson 6 is going to be mostly a live tutorial. So we're going to be meeting on Teams. You'll get an invite through your Glow email. Ensure you're logged on at 1:45 and the lesson will start at 1:50. In the live tutorial, we'll cover the worked solutions to the 2019 multiple choice questions, which you completed in the previous lesson. We'll also do a quick review of all the carbon compounds that we've met so far. And then finally, I'll give you instructions for the next task that you're going to complete for the last part of lesson 6. So what we've been kind of building up to through the definitions practice and the note-taking practice and the review of the carbon compounds is preparing for an open-ended question. So the very last part of your lessons today will be completing a task on an open-ended question. To be clear, this will not be an open-ended question that I give you and then you write your answer and then you submit it for marks. This will be more of a guided way through how you would plan your response to an open-ended question, looking at some good and not so good responses and trying to improve a response, and then later on we'll actually do one to hand in. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed today's lesson. You ask if you have an issue during your lessons, please write your question into Teams. At any other time, you can write a comment on Show My Homework or email your teacher directly. Okay, see you later.